Let's begin this lesson by opening up this image right here, DSC3996, whether you're in Bridge or not. Double-click and open that bad boy in ACR. I like this image, I really do. It's taken in Chicago's Union Station, and it's called the Grand Hall. Nice place to take photographs, but we have problems. One of those is white balance. That shouldn't be too hard to fix, though. The other problems are, we have an area that's hot here, and I want to kind of tone that down a little bit. And I would like to maybe lighten up the rest of these areas. I think that would be good. I want to equalize the image as much as possible. Now, the first thing we need to do, in my opinion, is make a snapshot. So we can always come back and see the original. So let's come over here. New snapshot. Original. Click OK. Now, let's go back to our basics. The first thing, I suppose, would be white balance. We might as well start with the basics, and let's just do it simple. I know that's sunlight coming through that roof. So I'm going to come over here and say daylight. Looks good to me. I'm happy with that part of it. So we're going to stop. We like that. Next part, how do we adjust areas individually? Now, if I were in Photoshop, I would say adjustment layers with masks. In this program, ACR, we have these three options up here. You have an adjustment brush where you can paint an area like a mask and say, change the area that I painted. I think we're going to get away with these two right here. That's a graduated filter and a radial. Let's start with radial and get rid of this hot spot right here. So I'm going to click right about here. That's about, I think, in the middle of that hot spot. And I'm going to drag out and try to get it. Let's stop right about there. Now, once you've got that area established, you can come to the middle, the pin, and you can move it. You can come over here and change it this way if it's not a perfect circle, whatever. You can even come on the outside and rotate it if you want to. If we come down here, we can turn the overlay off if we'd like to work with it without that in the way, and I do. You can say, nah, I want to start all over again, clear all over here. If we come down here, do we want that circle controlling everything outside or everything inside? Inside is what we want, so we'll leave that on inside. The feather, well, let's wait on that and see what we get. Let's start up here with exposure. And all we're trying to do is kind of just bring that down. Now, we can go too far, as you can see. Don't want to go that far. I'm going to stop right about there. We can't make it, I don't think anyway, look like this. Okay, it's kind of blown out anyway. But we can always see the before and the after, and that actually is better. We'll leave it there for now. Let's go ahead and get the sides. This area in here and this area over here with this one, the graduated filter. So we get right about here, and I'm going to drag out. I'll hold the Shift key down too. I'm going to go all the way to here. Now, remember is the last thing I did, so don't worry about that yet. I'm going to go to right about there. Let's turn off the overlay for a minute, and let's go to exposure. Oh, I'm liking that. That's nice. That looks good. Let's do the other side. Come over here. Actually, let's turn on overlay again for a second. And let's bring this one to about there. We can change that if we don't like it. Let me turn off the overlay. That's not too bad. Now let's do this. Let's go back into an option up here that gives us our options over here. Go back to snapshot. Let's call this one phase 1. I'm big on phases. Here's the original. And here's what we did. Anytime we want to change it again, I look up here and think, well, I don't know if I like that or not. Seems to be a little bit overpowering up there. So I want to go back again. Let's turn the overlay on, pick up that pin, and maybe just pull that down just a little bit. Not much, though. Just a little bit, maybe like that. Turn that off. Come back over here. Pick up a tool that gives us our snapshots. And there's the original, and there's phase 1 again. That's not too bad. If you like it, you want to keep it, click Done. And there you go. Creating adjustment areas in an image, you have 3 tools for that. Don't forget you have them. They are very powerful, and they are non-destructive.